Well, a few years back, Dr. Devi Shetty, who is chairman of Narayana Hrudalaya and a legend in the world of medicine, he was asked by the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh to take charge when the Medical Council of India was disbanded for some time. Most unfortunately, he was so disappointed with his experience and the lack of interest in reforming the Medical Council that he quit in 8 months. He joins me live from Bengaluru. Devi Shetty, welcome. Atishi Marlena is spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Taking her on is GVL Narasimha Rao, national spokesperson and the member of the Electoral Reforms Committee of the BJP. GVL Narasimha Rao, thank you very much. But my first question is to Dr. K K Aggarwal, who is the Senior National Vice President of the Indian Medical Association. Thank you very much. Dr. Aggarwal, why do you think this, all of this is being allowed and a whistleblower is being punished? Are those who are handling the Medical Council of India in the wrong belief that they can get away with it? That we won't be investigated?
To a couple of facts which I'd like to put it down very clearly. One is everywhere the allegations have been coming after Dr. Ketan Desai, because this is what I have been hearing sitting outside. IMA wrote to CBI in 22nd of April 2014, and IMA wanted to know about the status of cases against Dr. Ketan Desai. The CBI has written to Indian Medical Association that Dr. Ketan Desai, no cash was recovered during his personal search of Dr. Ketan Desai. Because everywhere media talks about 2 crores
were seized. Are the CBI cases closed?
I'm coming
are you trying to give me an impression that the CBI cases are closed? Because they are not. Because if you're going to give me individual bits and pieces of evidence to build a case that there's nothing serious against Ketan Desai, let's not come to that
I'm only talking about what the IMA has in possession about the CBI letter to MCI.
So let the CBI do its job. Are you trying to give him a clean sheet?
No, I'm not giving any clean sheet. There are 2 cases. One is the DA case has been closed. The court has closed. The court has accepted that. And 2, there is a Supreme Court case which is under.
You didn't answer my question. Why is a whistleblower being punished? I thought. No,
I'm coming to the second part. The first part is about everybody talking about that somebody is shielding Ketan Desai. As far as the whistleblower is concerned, to the knowledge of Indian Medical Association, I am also a member of Ethics Committee of Medical Council of India. No MCI has recommended to remove him. He has asked for his own transfer. He has given a letter in April that I have been harassed, I have been threatened.
How unfortunate, I say.
This is what I'm trying to say.
How unfortunate, I say, that on national television you are twisting the facts.
No, I'm not twisting the facts.
Mr. Aggarwal, I think you are. And I'd like to get Atishi on this, because my information is, I have copies of everything that you have. My information is, and I want people of India to know this, in April, the Chief Vigilance Officer, and before I come to Devi Shetty and the others, I want to settle this part. In April, the Chief Vigilance Officer of the Medical Council of India complains about harassment and victimization. Right or wrong, Dr. Aggarwal?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay, then
the matter was taken up by the executive committee.
No, 1 second.
And after the executive committee has asked him 3 times.
Let me complete. In May, the Chief Vigilance Commissioner tells the Health Ministry to protect and support the Chief Vigilance Officer and involve the Delhi Police if necessary. Right or wrong?
Absolutely correct.
In July, the Health Ministry Vigilance Wing asked the Central Bureau of Investigation to probe the many corruption allegations and harassment of the anti-graft officer at the Medical Council of India. Right or wrong, sir? Right or wrong, sir?
The time the Medical Council of India was
informed. Sir, right or wrong, sir?
Just listen to me.
Is an officer saying, sir, tell me, Dr. Aggarwal, is an officer saying that I want to uncover corruption and I'm being harassed?
But I have to answer you step by step.
Sir, but
in the very first step, you said there was a letter written by him to the Medical Council of India.
Of which I have a copy.
Yes, I also have a copy.
Yes.
It went to the Executive Committee. Executive Committee asked him the details thrice, and he never answered them.
How do I trust, this is, what action has been taken? You say you never answered, and what is, and by the way, why are you making up the facts? If there was no merit in the vigilance officer's allegation, Atishi, let me ask you, if there was no merit, an officer is saying this, and Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao, you two have to answer. Is this the India that you promised to the voters, where you would carry out the biggest cover-up in the scam that you called a Pandora's box? Aren't you cheating people openly now?
I think you've got all your analysis wrong.
Sir, I've got all my facts right, but you are the ones who have to explain.
Your facts may be right.
Why are you covering up a scam?
Your analysis and your conclusions are completely wrong. I think this government, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has been saying time and again on record that MCI is not, if not everything is above board, MCI is a
Which is why he's helping in the cover-up now. He's helping in the cover-up now.
No, the gentleman chickens out. He's scared.
Chickens out?
No,
how do you say he chickens out? How do you say he chickens out? No, Mr. Narasimha, I ask you a question. I ask you. No, he's not. No, Mr.
He seeks a transfer.
I have the letters. I'm really very sorry. I mean, the political party.
I think why does he?
The party.
The government did not want to transfer him. He writes 3 letters to the government.
Sir, this is.
I am not supporting the MCA at all.
Sir, I am going to show this.
Everything about MCI is completely unacceptable. The MCI
Sir, I'm going to hold up these papers. I'm going to hold up these papers, and I'm going to show them to you. And you will have to accept tonight. You have to take back what you said.
No, MCI is everything.
You want me to read out the letter?
MCI.
Okay.
MCI needs a reform.
Dear viewers,
the minister is.
Dear viewers, I did not want to do this, but because I'm being challenged and my facts are being questioned by Dr. Aggarwal and GVL Narasimha Rao.
No, I'm not questioning your facts.
So now you're backing
your conclusions. I'm questioning your conclusions.
You know, I'm presenting one fact to you. I don't know how you can come to a different conclusion.
No, whatever you're presenting.
Do you also have the copies
MCI
of
is
the executive committee meeting on 26th of April, 28th of May, 7th of August, and 2nd of September?
I am not defending MCI at all. I think
the executive committee has been asking him kindly provide us the evidences of your complaint.
To do.
MCI has to act through the executive
wants
committee.
A complete reform in MCI. Everything is wrong. What's going on in MCI is completely undesirable, and it needs a massive reform. That's what the health minister is trying to do. You want to punish him? You want to call him names for this?
I am questioning the very ethics and morals and propriety and sincerity and honesty of a ridiculous position, which I now want to explain if you give me 1 minute, and then I'm coming to you, Atishi. This is the India in which we are now exposed. There is a man who is the Chief Vigilance Officer of the Medical Council of India. The original letters are with me. He says, and I now will proceed to read the letter.
Yeah.
He says, the situation has not improved, instead it is getting worsened. The President Medical Council of India is using all pressure tactics for destabilizing the functioning of the Vigilance Division. Under these circumstances, he goes on to say, I feel scared as I am fighting alone against corruption in Medical Council of India, against the wishes of a strong lobby in their premises without any support. Sir, I have a long career ahead. I don't want to put it at risk, as the atmosphere created around me is just to find ways to manipulate me. This is a desperate letter of a whistleblower.
I hope you're familiar with the MCI Act.
Sir, no.
Are you familiar with the MCI Act?
You're not going to go.
No, are you clear about provisions of law?
I am clear about every provision of the law.
What can the health minister do?
I'll tell you what he can do.
What could he have
I'll tell you what he can do.
He has done all that.
No, he has not done all that. No, he has not done it.
He is doing more.
No, I'll tell you what he can do. I'll tell you what he can do.
Tell me what
and what I expected him to do. I just expect him to do one thing.
Yes.
And Atishi can come in on this.
No, tell me what he could do.
I expect this government, and I expect the health minister not to say to that honest whistleblower 3 words, 1 minute, 3 words. You know what those 3 words are? Fend for yourself.
No,
fend for yourself.
You are not.
You chose to fight corruption.
Arnab,
fend for yourself. Atishi coming in. No,
you're not going by the due procedure of the law.
No,
you cannot violate law.
You should also
what the law is meant to defend. The law is not meant to defend the corrupt.
You have read the CVO letter. You have read the CVO letter. Also read out the president's letter.
I think what is most interesting. I think what is most interesting in all of this is that the BJP is beginning to sound exactly like the Congress. This is exactly what the Congress used to say a few months back. The Congress used to defend all of these.
And I'm
the Congress used to defend all of these issues on the grounds of technicalities.
MCI needs a reform. We are committed to the reform. The health minister has ordered has already set up a committee to examine the goings on in the MCI.
Is this why? Tell me one thing. Do you not see a pattern? Do you not see a pattern in the fact that a month or so back, a whistleblower from AIIMS, Sanjeev Chaturvedi, gets removed? Here we are talking about technicalities. Do you not see a pattern again when a couple of weeks later they say, oh, sorry, we can't reveal the names of black money holders? Oh, technicalities. No. Today we see the fact that, oh, you know, the whistleblower actually asked for a transfer. No, we don't.
He has asked for it. Please read the letters.
Yes, he has asked for a transfer because he has asked for a transfer because he is not protected. He has asked for a transfer because he feels that lobbying is being done.
I will not accept from Dr. Aggarwal and GVL Narasimha Rao, with the greatest of respect to both of you gentlemen.
I'm only trying to say is,
you are twisting facts. I don't say this very often on the program. You are twisting facts.
No, if you have narrated CVO version, kindly also narrate the answer given by the president. We would like to know what she has written in her defense.
Do you want me
you
to,
just said
do you want
that
me
she
to
has
read
written
out?
a 7-page statement.
Do you want me to read out every confidential secret letter of the Central Vigilance Commission?
You just leaked out the CVO letter, and you are not ready to give the defense.
I am ready to give every point out to be if you are prepared to listen. May
Absolutely.
I read out the letter?
Sir,
I request you, since you say you are sitting with a bundle of papers.
Did not support the whistleblower. The government, which earlier Mr. Harshvardhan, who came out so strongly on this fact, who said
like Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes, that is very clear, sir. You followed the law. You followed the law in removing Sanjeev Chaturvedi.
We will amend the law. That is what the health minister is trying to do. He is examining all that's going wrong.
Look at Dr. Agarwal. Dr. Agarwal is now proceeding. Dr. Agarwal is saying, what are you saying, Dr.
I'm trying to say is that you have seen only the version of the CVO. That's his grievances. Unless they are proved, you cannot put down somebody on a blame. CVO, there has been a lot of complaints against the CVO. There has been a lot of work that he has not been working as per the MCI manual. He has not been working as per the CVO manual.
I find nothing wrong with the CVO. But he simply didn't want to take the pressure, and he wanted a transfer himself for the sake of his own safety. On his own request, he has been transferred. But the government is completely, I think, aware of the fact that MCI
according to the papers, there is already a Dr. Ranjit Rai Chaudhary who is doing an inquiry. Let the inquiry report come.
Sir, look at your papers, and sorry, Dr. Devi Shetty, I haven't got you into this because I want to go to Dr. Devi Shetty in a minute to tell our viewers about what is the public impact of a scam in the Medical Council of India. And if you're watching this tonight, dear viewers, and you think this is about the bureaucracy and some fight that's going on between the Medical Council of India and the bureaucracy, it is not. It is something which will impact your life. And in 30 seconds from now, Devi Shetty will tell you how it will. My question before going to Dr. Devi Shetty, sir, look at your papers and I ask you, pull out the paper of the 26th of May, 10 days after Narendra Modi became Prime Minister of India. Do you have the letter titled Confidential Immediate, which are the subject victimization and harassment of the Chief Vigilance Officer of the Medical Council of India? Sir, do you have this paper?
We are not denying anything.
So, no. What does this letter say? What does this letter say?
When he wrote to the Medical Council of India,
so what does this letter say?
The Executive Committee 3 times has asked him, who is harassing you? Who is harassing you?
No, sir, what does the letter say?
Action, you are saying that MCI is not taking action.
Sir, what does the letter say? You heard the health minister today say somebody is harassing you, go to the police.
No, I'm not talking about the health minister.
But that's the government.
I am not talking about the health minister.
Tomorrow, how will any whistleblower in any country
of India has written him 3 times
there is the
to ask him about the details.
Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan is on record saying repeatedly that he disapproves of the functioning of the MCI. And the MCI is not in the good books at all.
So what?
A whistleblower.
So what?
If somebody comes to the minister and says, I am worried about my own safety, if I am worried about my own safety, please repatriate me to my cadre.
Okay, so in a minute, in a couple of minutes,
Should the health minister allow him to face the consequences?
So I say one thing, you must take away that mask of being Mr. Clean in the daily politics.
Mr. Clean. Come on,
you take away that mask of Mr. Clean if you are going to go after whistleblowers. I now ask Devi Shetty.
This government is clean, so clean that even Aam Aadmi Party has to take the name of our Prime Minister to somehow do their own marketing.
Devi Shetty.
It is a part of their marketing strategy.
Devi Shetty, my question to you is, you patiently listened on to the debate so far. Can you tell all our viewers, this program goes to 46 countries around the world, all across India, people are watching tonight, why this scam, if unchecked, why the rot in the medical system will affect people at large and our future generations? Devi Shetty.
Arnab, we have been waiting for the last 10 years for reforms to happen in medical education, primarily because you cannot have reforms in healthcare without reforms in medical education. It is very important for us to change. Nothing happened all these 10 years. 5 years ago, there was a ray of hope when government intervened and they disbanded MCI and asked a few senior doctors like us and created a governing council to reform medical education. But after being in the council for a few months, at the end of the year, I decided to step down because I was in doubt who's in command. Nothing was happening, nothing was changing. I didn't want to waste my time. But Arnab, I just want to let you know, I have total trust in the current government and the Prime Minister that there will be major reforms. I hope it will happen soon, but I have total trust in the current government that they will reform. That's all I have to say, Arnab.
No, but what is the impact of this? No,
That's
what
where
is
you are.
No,
I think the government is on the right track. We have set up a committee of doctors.
Dr. Shetty is a well-meaning man, and he has faith, and he has reason to have faith. I don't think Dr. Shetty has any motives. I, however, hardened by what I have seen from how politicians act, am a little bit more cynical. And my question to Mr. Dr. Aggarwal and GVL Narasimha Rao, I'm coming to you. You see, in our country, Dr. Aggarwal, there are how many doctors are there and how many doctors are available? Please tell me.
More than 750,000 doctors are there in the country.
Okay, so there are enough doctors available in our country?
No, we never say there are enough.
There is a shortage.
Yes, absolutely.
And why is there a shortage of doctors in our country?
That government has to answer.
Government has to answer, or the Medical Council of India has to answer? Give me an honest reply, for God's sake.
Medical Council.
Medical Council?
How will Medical Council answer? Because
how will Medical Council answer?
The medical colleges are being ultimately sanctioned by the government.
Oh, so the Medical Council is Medical Council of India. I think that's the greatest lie, Devi Shetty. You know why I'm asking that question? I am asking that question, A, because I think the Medical Council of India is responsible.
I said both are responsible.
No, you are not. Don't shift the blame.
You see, medical colleges, are you feeling that Medical Council tomorrow can open up 10 medical colleges without the consent of the government?
So what I'm saying is, you know what the Medical Council is busy doing?
What is it busy doing?
It's busy snooping around with the CBI on the status of cases on Ketan.
That's not correct. Your topic
it is.
Your topic has been that who is shielding.
Yes, it is.
Your topic has been who is shielding Ketan Desai. He is not a member.
I will have to come across there and show you a piece of paper.
He is not
I will have to come across there and show you a piece of paper. Or do you want me to read this piece of paper?
Absolutely, give it to me.
It's an internal email.
Absolutely, give it to me.
I'll have to come across that side.
I can come over if you want.
I'll come over and I'll let you see it. Please come over this side.
Absolutely.
No, you'll have to unmic you for a minute. If you take off your mic for a minute. Okay, you stay there. Let me read out this piece of paper.
Please do that.
Let me read out this piece of paper for you. 1 second. And you can then, I'll pass on the piece of paper so you know that it's not a fake. This is an email from Dr. Jayashree Mehta. Who is she?
She is the president of MCI, and the email has gone to the CVO.
One second. What is this letter about? What is she interfering in?
Tell me.
Should I tell you?
Yes, absolutely.
Here it is, by the way.
Absolutely.
This letter, ladies and gentlemen, is a letter from the Medical Council of India chief, written to the Chief Vigilance Officer, saying that please go and take this draft letter from me and send it to the CBI. In other words, be my postman. Like a postman, take 1 minute, let me complete. I believe the Medical Council of India should work towards improving the status of medical education and healthcare in this country.
Do you also have the correspondence before?
Sir, 1 minute. I am asking you. And a letter, she dares to write the letter out. Please see this, ladies and gentlemen. She writes the letter out complete with the address of the Central Bureau of Investigation, and she says to the CVO, she writes the whole letter saying, I want details and information regarding status of cases against Dr. Desai, former president of the Medical Council of India.
What's wrong?
What's her business?
What's wrong?
What's her business?
Why?
What's her business?
Even
she
IMA
wants to know.
IMA has asked for it. IMA has got an answer from the CBI.
Is this the job of the Medical Council of India?
Why not?
To interfere in a case
if
of
everybody is asking,
not everybody.
If every media is asking that MCI is corrupt.
Is the Medical Council of India journalist?
If every media is asking
what kind of explanation
that Desai is corrupt,
Atishi, I thought this is ridiculous.
She has every business to ask for it.
I don't know how you can answer after this.
I think the question that you need to ask.
You see this mail. You see this mail. What is going on here in the
You have to read the CBI letter.
Why is she doing this?
Why should I read?
Why is she
interfering? As a president, she is supposed to know what was previous president.
Sir, as a president of the Medical
Council. Media is asking us, what are you doing about
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with that?
As a president of the Medical Council of India, she is supposed to run the Medical Council of India for the betterment of students and the people of this country.
There is nothing wrong in it. If she is asking information about Ketan Desai's cases,
what's wrong? The question that you need to ask, why is the BJP also protecting the MCI?
Absolutely.
The question that you need to ask is that the UPA government has got voted. The UPA government has got voted out on charges of corruption. The BJP government has come in saying that you're going to provide a corruption-free India. In terms of medical corruption,
do you know that there is an act called MCI Act?
The first thing that you did, sir, was to remove remove
Do you know
Sanjeev
under what
Chaturvedi,
provisions
who was a whistleblower.
the central government can
The second
intervene?
thing that
I think
you have
do not
done,
come to conclusions
sir,
without
the second
knowing
thing
any
that you
basic
have done,
facts.
as soon as the
I think
whistleblower
this
demands
government and the
protection,
health minister have
the
been
whistleblower demands
talking about the
protection, and you
unsavory
remove
happenings in the
him.
MCI.
This is
We are more
precisely-
committed to MCI reform
Sir,
than anybody else.
this is precisely what the
we
UPA
are-
did.
I think you are
The
making
UPA,
general political
Ghulam
comments without
Nabi Azad,
understanding the basics.
Sir, Ghulam
Without
Nabi Azad.
No,
understanding
she's
that.
making a point.
What
Ghulam
point?
Nabi
Do you know
Azad.
there is an act? Do you know
Sir,
there is an MCI
Let her
act?
speak, sir. Let her speak.
Let her answer. Do you know there is an act?
Let her speak,
Do you
sir.
know what is the composition of MCI? Do you
Ghulam
know how
Nabi
the government
Azad
can intervene
removed
without
Sir.
knowing any facts? Don't
Sir,
speak.
then one
Ghulam
second.
Nabi
This
Azad-
sounds like the black money argument. One second. This sounds systematically,
Like-
ominously, suspiciously like the black money argument. Do you know how the law? No, one second. Do you know how difficult it is to implement the law? To which the people of India will ask you one question. Let me speak. The people of India will ask you one question.
Please read the act.
Well, did you please see the papers?
I understand. I know all the background.
This is-
Please read the act.
What were you?
How the government
did you,
can intervene?
So
We are.
you didn't
the
know that
government
before the
wants a
election.
reform.
The
Like Mr.
BJP
Devi
is
said,
becoming- the
he's
BJP
aware.
is becoming
As a
my
commissioner
question
of
is-
technicalities, he's
One
aware.
second. I'm going back to Devi Shetty in a minute. One second. My question is, let me complete. Who told the BJP to make big promises on black money? Nobody. One.
No, why are
who
you
told the
switching
BJP to
topics?
make?
Arnab,
Who
you have
told the
run out
BJP
of-
to make
you have
big
run out of
promises
arguments.
on the Medical
You
Council
have
of
run out
India?
of arguments,
No.
and therefore you
But
are
I have
switching
to add-
topics.
Sir,
Let's talk about this
I have
topic.
to-
There is
Arnab,
an MCI
I want to
Act.
add which you haven't
There is an
spoken about.
MCI Act.
I want to add
which
something
requires
Just
which you
massive
haven't
Why are you
spoken
hiding
about.
behind the law?
Absolutely.
Not
Hiding
hiding
behind
behind
the
law.
I have
Come
to
on,
add
you can't do
which you
something
haven't-
illegal. There
You
is
have
a need
learned
for reform.
excuses from the UPA.
I
You have
want to
learned the
add,
same excuses
Arnab,
that the UPA
There is no
used to
excuse.
want to add
We have
another
already
angle.
set up a committee. It's a matter of time
want to
before
add
a new
another
law.
angle.
You
This is
hid
sounding
behind-
exactly like your black
Exactly.
money argument. You
No,
realize
no,
that?
ask
You
Dr.
hid
Singh,
behind the
Devi
double
said.
taxation
He
treaty.
understands
Now
the
you're
subject.
hiding
We are
behind the
discussing
MCI
it
Act.
without knowing
Can
basic arguments,
can I
basic
add another
facts.
twist to the whole story? Can I add something
What's the
which may
twist? The
interest
facts
both of
are
them?
so clear, there's
Which
nothing
may,
that
no,
could be
no, you have
twisted.
to listen to me.
What do you want to twist?
This
There
is a
are
body
employees of
corporation.
MCI.
What are you trying
There
to
were some
twist?
employees of MCI who wrote directly to Prashant Bhushan and to Health Minister and Prime Minister bypassing the whole structure.
I thought transparency is good.
On which the CVO says, I can't do anything. He was supposed to. He says this is misconduct.
So you're now seriously
I
after the
think the
whistleblower.
No, I'm not seriously after the whistleblower. Whistleblower is only
I think
after
the
the
real
inquiry is
subject,
finished.
Arnab,
So, okay,
real
let
there be an
subject
inquiry.
is
There has been-
MCI needs reform.
Aha.
MCI, everything wrong with MCI has happened.
Where?
MCI is actually vested
Where and
interest has
when?
taken
And
charge.
that's why you're removing the
But there is an
whistleblower.
act. There is an
Has the
act.
whistleblower
If you
acted in
understand,
every
if you
case
read the act,
the way he should have
you will
acted?
know
He has
why
not.
the government needs to come
you see,
about with
there are
why the
cases-
government
you
needs
see,
to amend the
there are-
law.
You see,
There are cases
Why the
against-
government needs to
against-
amend the law.
1 minute, just one at a time.
The
There are
government needs to
cases
amend the law.
against-
One second. There are questions based on the letters. The questions based on the letters are this. Have you allowed, and Mr. Rao, there is absolutely no need for you to be so on the defensive. You need to be on the defensive, but if you're going to be so much on the defensive that you're going to fall off the edge, I'd request you to hold your
No,
step
I'm on the
and watch
offensive,
your
I
step.
thought. I'm asking you basic questions.
Sir,
Nobody has read
sir,
the
you
act.
don't ask questions, you answer. I ask the
No,
question.
please read the act to understand how the government can intervene.
Sir,
and the government is exactly doing what is needed to be done.
I never thought a day would come when the BJP would walk into a Times Now studio and say the government is helpless.
No, I'm not saying
I
it.
thought you always used to say the
Just
previous
as-
government
just
was
as They were
helpless.
helpless on
No, the
black
government
money
is
issue.
wanting
Let
to
us not
do
forget
reform.
that.
I
But
think
you can't. Your hands are
There
tied.
has to be a
I still
process,
feel-
Arnab. There is a committee that
This
is
is sounding
examining
very
all the
much
facts.
like the
I
Manmohan Singh
still feel,
government.
Arnab,
No,
you
come
haven't
on, you
answered my
cannot-
question.
you cannot-
You have
government
only,
cannot suo moto do
you are
things
only
without
taking the
engaging
view of
with
the
the best
whistleblower.
practitioners
You are
of
not
medical
answering
field.
what the president has given it in that defense. You have to
the
take both of
the
them views.
president's
The
defense
law
has been-
doesn't take away only the complainant. You also has to talk about the defense.
Sir, the president has given a 7-page defense, all of which has been carried to Times Now, in which he says that the CVO is a terrible person. There was inaction by the CVO. I have done nothing wrong.
Inaction, but not terrible.
Right.
There is
Now,
a
my
difference
question
between inaction.
is this.
Don't mince
Can I,
words.
may I please?
Never write down that terrible word. I don't think so. MCI president would have
Sir,
used this word.
I'll tell you, the point is what? Point is, and Mr. Rao, don't respond. You know, indirectly you are allowing corruption to proliferate. And I'll tell you 3 reasons why. Just be patient. 1, you are acting against the one who has reported the crime of corruption and wrongdoing. You act against him. He gets transferred. Chief Harshvardhan says, let him go to the police if he has
Can I
complaints.
also
No,
respond?
two.
Can I have the-
Two. You are siding with the alleged perpetrator of the crime, who happens to be at the helm of the MCI, the benefit of doubt with no documented reason for doing so. I don't know why you're doing that.
Can I have the privilege of answering the question without being interrupted?
I have a documented
I
proof.
think I have placed the facts very clearly on the
there is no
table.
documented
I said
proof.
there is nothing wrong with the CBO. What he has done, we certainly approve of what he has done.
Sir,
we think everything is going wrong with the MCI. MCI needs reform. The government is already on the job.
Sir,
And
you tell me one thing. You tell me one thing.
If the individual feels unsafe and wants him to be shut,
can I ask you a more fundamental question? How is it that when Khemka is the whistleblower and Khemka is transferred, the BJP says whistleblowers must be protected? Right? And when the whistleblower in this case is the CVO in the, is the CVO in the MCI, the Harshvardhan says, I can't do anything about it, go to the police. Why didn't he say in the case of Ashok Khemka? Why did he? No, sir.
Khemka never asked for protection. Khemka never said that I am feeling unsafe, I'll be killed.
Sir, you had...
I think you understand, these two are not comparable.
I want to go back to
Here
Devi
an individual
Shetty.
says I'm
Devi
feeling
Shetty.
threatened. I might get killed.
Devi
You want the
Shetty,
minister to take the responsibility of the individual's life?
I want our viewers to know the cost of inaction. Now, whatever our different views
And
may
secondly, this is an MCI, a body corporate set up under a Government of India Act.
Sir.
Government cannot directly intervene.
I also want you to read
Cannot
out.
directly
This
intervene.
is not the first whistleblower you've removed. Just a few days back, you removed a whistleblower from AIM, Sanjeev Chaturvedi. And there
That
also
background is known.
there
We have
also
debated
you
that
cited
enough.
technicalities.
I think you don't know the
This
facts
is-
about this case.
all the
This is a
time
pattern.
Switching topics. Let's stick to the topic we're discussing.
This is a pattern.
With
Don't
Dr.
you
Ketan
see?
Desai,
There is
I would
no
like to know.
pattern. You are blaming the government. You are blaming the minister.
The CVO case with Dr. Ketan Desai. He's not a member. He's not the president.
Sir,
He's
sir.
not a sitting member of MCI.
First of all,
There are no active pending cases against him.
So first of all, I am saying two things tonight. Let me clarify abundantly for the record. This issue for me is the issue of how a whistleblower is treated.
That's okay.
Secondly, I find the interest of the present Medical Council of India chief in the exact update of the CBI, how Ketan Desai case is, how it is being handled, when the man is going to get out. I find it very strange.
There's nothing
and I
strange.
think the Medical Council should focus on their job rather than do that.
Even at IMA, we are concerned about what is the truth. We want the truth to come out.
Yeah.
And when we have written to the CBI, CBI has answered.
Can I ask a question to Devi Shetty just because he's
even today, every newspaper talks about that Ketan Desai was caught bribed with 2 crores. And the CBI says no cash was recovered. Why the media doesn't clarify it? Why the media goes on writing every day that he was caught with 2 crores? That's defaming the medical profession.
Sir, you must be extremely careful before you go too far, because if there was no merit in Jethi's allegation, the Health Ministry CVO would not write to the CBI. If there was no merit in the CVO's allegation, the CVC would not write to the Health Ministry. And if he has violated, allow me to complete, if he has violated the Vigilance Manual, why would the Central Vigilance Commissioner come to his protection? Are you saying that everybody doesn't know how to do their job and only those at the helm of the MCI know how to do their job? Sir, come on, sir. Let's speak in terms of common sense. Dr. Shetty, let me go to Dr. Shetty, please. Dr. Shetty, please tell me, what is the price of inaction for this country where healthcare has become a luxury, unfortunately, for the vast hundreds of millions? What is the price of inaction in this case?
The price of inaction is every 10 minutes, a pregnant lady dies somewhere in rural India during childbirth. Pregnancy is not a disease. She is not a patient. She dies because there are no gynecologists, there are no anesthetists to take care of her. Every year, 3 lakh children die the day they are born. Since they belong to the poor families, nobody cares. And this is what has been happening for the last 20, 30 years. It is perpetuating. And our record of infant mortality, maternal mortality is not vastly different than sub-Sahara African countries. So this is the situation. It is not about MCI, it is not about the government.
Let him speak.
It is... Yeah, it's about the people who are suffering. So if government can reform MCI medical education, there is a hope for all this. Within 3 years, we can dramatically change every statistics revolving around the healthcare. Within 3 years, this country is capable of doing, because we produce over 50,000 doctors a year. But those doctors are of no use to bring down the maternal mortality, infant mortality, because we have brought in a regulation that without higher medical education, you can't address those things. That's all we are seeking.
So what we are seeking is the change in the system.
Absolutely.
And I also want to wrap up,
all
because
are
I have
with
to
you.
wrap up. Yeah, I want to make one point. It's not about Ketan Desai. It's about the system. The system.
Your heading is only talking about who is.
Sir, one second, because I am sure, sir, one second. I am telling you here that let us speak on record that Ketan Desai is not really, the shining example of how the Medical Council of India should be run. There are enough facts on this.
He's not in Medical Council of India at the moment.
Technically he's not.
I think
Technically he's not. And let me point out to you that in the health secretary, the previous health secretary Keshav Desiraju, a damn good officer who had problems in the Medical Council of India, was thrown out unceremoniously by the previous health minister Ghulam Nabi Azad.
Ketan
Desai, therefore.
So therefore, Ketan Desai is to be responsible.
Precisely as has been done this time.
Because the health minister removed secretary, Ketan Desai is responsible. GVL is getting a problem, Ketan Desai is responsible. What does this mean?
Sir, what I'm saying is, if you want to say today that Ketan Desai has done nothing wrong, I remind you that the Medical Council of India was dissolved after the arrest of Ketan Desai for 3.5 years in 2010.
Case is closed without a single money recovered from him. All the cases, there are only 2 cases, all of them are under stay. There is no active case against him.
Well, you may have your reasons to give.
I am not shielding anybody.
To give Ketan Desai a good citizen award. I don't.
No, for me, he's a medical professional. I have to protect my medical professional like being a member of Medical Association.
I think there is an investigation which is on, and you should not conclude too quickly. Thank you very much.
And I think you should ask, why is it that the BJP has started sounding like the Congress?
Why is the BJP
despite your best attempts, you cannot prove that.
That is a question that the people of India need to ask.
Everything is thinking about MCI, but it needs reform, and this government will do the reform.
The question also goes, and I place on record, the Indian National Congress refused to send a representative once again to this Newshour debate tonight. Interesting. Thank you very much for joining us on this Newshour debate. Thank you.